In a few weeks I'm going to the island of Corsica, a French island, where there's a fantastic salamander that I'm going to look for. It's quite different from most of the other salamanders found in Europe, and I'd just like to tell you a little bit about kind of some of the different types of salamanders and newts that we've got actually at the museum. One of the ones we've had on display for quite a long time, and actually we don't have them on display at the moment, they're actually in the back here, are axolotls. Now axolotls are a type of salamander. They're actually from Mexico, and they live in two high lakes. They're only found in on these two lakes in the world, and in the wild they're actually quite critically endangered because people have been dumping lots of rubbish and things, and they've really polluted these particular lakes. But in captivity they're a lot easier to breed, so you do see a lot of them. But they're really unusual, and the Aztecs actually used to worship them because they've got really amazing abilities to be able to regenerate the limbs. The other unusual thing about axolotls, unlike other salamanders, is that they're actually able to reproduce at what they call the neonate stage, which is like it's almost like a larval stage that most salamanders go through, but then they come out of water and they then go back into lay eggs. These axolotls, they do that without ever having to leave the water and turn into adults, which is pretty amazing. So I'll show you one of these. This is how we keep them. Keep them in a decent sized tank here. We've got the tank's aerated, but they've actually got little gills, so they can actually take oxygen out of the water. But they also, quite hard to catch, but they also can breathe from the surface. They've actually got lungs as well. But hope you can see that there. Amazing things. And as I say, they've got these fantastic ability to be able to regenerate limbs. So if one of them actually loses its leg for one reason or another, sometimes they can bite each other's legs off. Unlike lizards, which can only regenerate the tails, axolotls can grow limbs back and even parts of the head if necessary. But they're amazing things. This is a dark one, but they also come in an albino form. I'll pop this one back in there because it's not good having them out of the water for long. But that's a Mexican salamander, related to the one I'm going to be looking for. We've also got another type of salamander, which is a type, well, it's almost a type of newt really, which is quite rare at the museum. And this one, here it is, actually comes from Iran. It's got a long tail, and most of the time it spends out of the water, but you can see the length of its tail there. It's called a Kaiser's newt. And in the wild, again, these are critically endangered. I think the population is apparently down to about 1,000 in the wild. But again, it's a beautiful type of salamander. Quite fast moving. They can actually run pretty quick, these guys, when they want to. But the one I'm really looking forward to finding, and the one that I'm looking for when I go to Corsica, is a type of fire salamander. Now, I've got a couple here, and these are a couple of young ones. They take about 3 or 4 years before they get to adult size, before they're able to reproduce. But fire salamanders are amazing creatures. They're so beautiful. They're almost like the poison dart frog of Europe because they're so brightly coloured. And they're called fire salamanders because in the olden days, years ago, when people used to make a lot of fires outside, they used to throw logs onto the fire, and lo and behold, these salamanders used to just walk out of the fire. So they thought, again, there's quite a lot of myths around fire salamanders. People used to think that they came out of the fire, but actually they were embedded in the logs that people used to make the fires with. So that's how they got the name fire salamander. But they're absolutely amazing. And the ones from Corsica are slightly more chubby than the normal form, but you can see here we've got 2 young ones. Absolutely stunning creatures. Now, they've got glands behind the head there, parotoid glands, similar to lots of toads and things like that, frogs. But this particular type of fire salamander is only found on Corsica. It's got quite a short tail compared to most of the other fire salamanders found in Europe. but it's really, really nicely marked. It's got these lovely yellow spots, which have actually got orange in the middle of them. And I'm so looking forward to looking for these. Fire salamanders can actually, when they lay in the larva, they can actually come out as fully formed larvae. The eggs hatch just before they release them into the water. So I'm hoping in Corsica I can actually find some larvae of these as well, which I'll do a video of if I find them. But yeah, I'm getting really into my salamanders at the moment, and I just thought you'd like to see these, something special.